What's going on, Internet? The Black Cog here, aka TBH, on behalf of GamingIlluminaughty.com, and I got Ethos with me. Say what up to the people.
Yo, what up, what up?
And we're back from E3 2018, and one of the games that we got to play is one of the most highly anticipated of early 2019. It's one of those games, I mean, you could have played it at EA Play, but the line was out the door, so you probably...
You couldn't.
Oh, it was just a presentation?
It was just a presentation.
Wow, so you didn't get to... So we actually are one of the few people who've actually played the game. I did not know that, so... Yeah, this is one of those things, if you're at E3, you had to be media to play Anthem. It was kind of tucked away in a corner in a room and some Illuminaughty shit, but...
say where, but...
Right. It was hidden, and we got some hands-on time. We got some hands-on time. I got the connection that let me play it early, so... I know you were a little bit worried about this game, Ethos. What are your first impressions after getting some hands-on time with Anthem?
So I went from meh about the game at first when they first revealed it. They looked great, but from just after what happened with Mass Effect and just all the stuff that was going on with EA at the time, I was very just I just can't be excited for anything right now. But then at EA Play I was able to see the presentation, so they went more in depth about what you can do, and they gave a bigger slice of what you can do. And then from playing it with you and me both played co-op, right?
Yeah.
Together. Yeah. When we were playing it, I have to say I'm now interested. I wouldn't say not fully sold, because there's a lot of stuff that it seems like Bioware is just they don't want to answer, or they're trying to stray away, or not explain certain things yet, and I think that's what everyone's concern is. But overall, I went from literally no interest to now I'm interested, so I guess that's good for first impression.
But what in specific did you see that actually made you interested in the game, or that you felt
it was actually playing it? If it was just a presentation, I'd still be kind of concerned, but it was just playing it feels great. It's in my mind, it reminds me of Iron Man. It's if you've always wanted to play Iron Man the game, but actually good, Anthem feels like that. You feel like Iron Man, flying around and landing Superman land or superhero landing, and the combat's solid. And the best comparison I could say is it's a more fluid Mass Effect Andromeda combat system. So I think if anybody played Mass Effect Andromeda, and if regardless of if you liked it or not, I think everyone agreed that the combat system was the best it's ever been for Mass Effect. And I'd say, in my opinion, it's one of the best third-person action combat systems. This one is it overhauls that system and makes it even better and more fluid. It has the dodge, the advanced movement and stuff that you can do. It's really cool. The gunplay feels just like Mass Effect Andromeda. It feels great. I don't know about you, but the enemies didn't seem really bullet spongy outside of that boss.
Nah, they weren't.
Yeah.
It felt more like an action shooter versus a loot shooter.
Yeah, the little mobs, the little smaller guys,
right.
Pretty fast. They didn't feel like they had took forever to kill. It was definitely, the time to kill was way faster than the Division's time to kill. The only thing was obviously that spider thing, which
it was a boss. So
but that was a boss, so that's what you come to expect with that sort of thing. I still felt it was a little bit too much health for that boss. But again, this was just a small vertical slice, an idea of let's say, I'd say it was a strike from Destiny. I don't know if you would agree with that, TD.
Yeah, I'd also argue we don't know what point in the game we were at. That could have been one of the more stronger bosses.
Yeah, exactly. There was that was the big looking Titan thing that tried to
the Goliath when you were flying. Yeah, they was don't fight that. I'm why you put it there?
I stopped and I literally was shooting at it. There was a couple times, and that was the only things I was a little concerned about. There was a couple times when we were playing the demo where I tried to go off the path that the demo did, and the Bioware devs were don't do no, you want to go that way, or you want to go this way? Because I was but I want to go this way. I want to see how far I can get away with. But they were kind of very strict on making sure I'd follow what the demo did, and didn't just run off and see where the illusion lied. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I enjoyed it. I feel I'm kind of with you. I wasn't blown away, but I could definitely see this being a good co-op game to play with friends. I feel the movement was very fluid, flying around. You definitely felt like Iron Man, which is a good thing, because those Iron Man games that Sega made, back when Iron Man 1 and 2 came out, were fucking awful. What's the name? It was, the different classes were cool, the ultimate. I think the main thing that I really liked about this game is the verticality in it. You're not just flying forward; you can go up and down, and there's tons of depth in the world. Even on the Stray, it's a big open world, but we were just playing a story mission, and even in the story mission where where your objective was to go straight. There was still a good amount. It was semi-open world, and there was a ton of different ways that you could tackle the environment. And the environment was full of like just lush greens and stuff like that. To the point,
Monster Hunter.
It made you want to explore. Like you were just like looking around. As like that's why I think you were like, man, I wish I could go left. I wish I could go right.
I wish I could go this way. I want to see what's over here. Like it definitely like just flying around. You just want to go off the path and just like look and explore stuff, which I think is really cool.
Which I think that's a green light because it's going to make you want to stay inside of the world. It's going to make you want to explore those caves and see what the lore is going on. The world's
very interesting. Like, and I think Destiny had that effect too when they were showing me initially. It was like a lot of people saw this world and they were like, "This seems like an interesting world that you want to learn more about." The question is, can Bioware deliver on like there being stuff there, and it's not just an empty world. From what they've shown and from what we've seen, there's definitely like this Monster Hunter vibe to the game. I'm not saying it is Monster Hunter, but there's this vibe where there are these like these big creatures, like, and they show it like there's one we're fighting, but there's ones that seem like they just roam around this open world, and like you could just naturally just run into them when you're like off the hidden path where you're supposed to be. So I think that's really cool as well to like add that sort of like. I hope what they're gonna do is like you can hunt these certain creatures and you can get certain like if you want a certain type
get rare loot for it.
Right? Yeah, like you want to hunt, like you want to find this specific type of like big monster and like take it down or something like that. I think that would make the game really fun overall.
I'm kind of more curious. Like we didn't really get to see much. We just mainly played the game. We didn't really get to see much about the story. There was like a quick cutscene at the beginning, but because they just threw us in the middle of the game, it was kind of hard to like. It's kind of hard to tell what was going on. Like, kind of check the temperature because there was no real context. They just threw us in the middle of the game. So it's like, do you know whether or not this will be traditional Bioware where like we'll be able to pick what we want to say and it shapes the story? Do you know if that's in the game?
So believe it or not, when I was at EA Play, I ran into Mike Game, which I don't know if you know he's the producer for a lot of the Bioware stuff. And he was like him and Casey Hudson. So he was actually there, and I, when I was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" I just want to say, I like Andromeda, even though I was like, "Yeah, you liked." He was the one that tweeted me and said, "Thanks for your video, man. I really appreciate it." Like the feedback, and I was like, "Cool." But he was saying the same thing where it's not traditional Bioware. And he was like, let's just get that off, like, pull the, take the bandage off the wound immediately. They didn't want to like try to like.
They're being transparent.
Yeah, they're trying to be transparent where they don't want hardware Bioware fans like how we are like with like Mass Effect stuff to go into this and expect it to be like a Mass Effect from like a choice-driven type of.
They're breaking the formula because all the way back from like the Star Wars to the Jade Empire, Mass Effect, fucking Dragon Age. There's a stamp on it that's Bioware, like the way they tell their stories, and you're saying like, nah, it's not gonna be like that. Yeah,
this one, like, I think they said there are no romances and stuff like that, so I don't think it's not gonna be a game where you're a hero and you have a bunch of like comrades that are like in most of their recent games. It's instead a focus on you and your friends exploring a world that is done by Bioware. So like if you enjoyed let me phrase that. If you enjoyed the world building of Bioware games, not necessarily like the narrative part, but if you enjoy the way that they build their worlds and like if you can like in their like codexes and stuff, then you will like Anthem. From like a narrative standpoint, we can't even comment on that. Like we don't even know what necessarily like there's a very like generic type of idea of what it's like. It reminds me of Attack on Titan. The story when I saw a story trailer last night with my roommate, I was showing him the game, and just the setup sounds very Attack on Titan-ish. It's like we're the last stand in Anthem, which is like this last, I guess, fortress in this world. The gods that used to, I guess, watch for us are gone now, and just their technology's left. And now we have to go into the wild and like fight these big monsters. It's like a mix of like Attack on Titan and Pacific Rim. That's the best way I can describe the story elements. But I hope they do like. I hope they succeed where Destiny has failed, which is like actually making a good narrative with good story points and not, completely just make some crap story that makes no sense, I guess.
Yeah, because they don't have the dialogue options, I could argue that there's a chance that maybe it could be a more focused narrative and get their story because they're trying something new.
Because they don't have to make multiple scenarios.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. They can focus on one streamline thing.
One thing that
they did say, I forgot to mention that. Didn't they tell you were telling me? They did say that like. They showed this in the demo at EA Play. They said, so you can be a level 30 and your friend can be a level 1 and they can still group with you and play the same mission as you, which I thought was like, that's interesting. So I guess it scales them. But then the cool thing they say is like the dialogue and the thing that the NPC says will be different for them if they have not been in that mission or they don't have context of what's going on in the mission. So I think like it's not that they're from like just that alone, from what they explained, it's like it seems like they do care about the narrative, and they want to make sure that like players like they want to make sure they
don't get spoiled.
Yeah, they don't get spoiled. So it seems like there is care being done, but we don't know, what does that mean at the end of the day?
Yeah, one thing that I did like that they announced is that you can change your armor at any point. You're not stuck to, because like that was one thing that I hated about Destiny. Like you're loot grinding and you'll get a rare piece for the tank, but you play the I don't know, you play one of the other classes. So it's like now you got to make, and like you don't have to make anything. Like you can switch at any point and rock your gear, which I thought was really dope. And
stuff too, like you could change like the left pod or whatever it is and the right pod on your javelin. Like you can make them different types of weapons or something like that. So I thought that was cool too. Like
for those of you who are worried about the game, at bare minimum, like I said, we didn't really get to see much about the story or anything like that. At bare minimum, the gameplay is fun to me, and that's what matters. And I can see a lot of us having a lot of fun with that because it is 4-player co-op. I can see a lot of funny things going down, especially because, like you said, you get that Monster Hunter vibe. There's just big ass monsters everywhere when we were flying around, and if they make the combat challenging, I could see this game being a lot of fun.
That's the thing. If they add a challenge, like just a mechanic and I don't want them to add investment stuff to make it like you have to come back to the game every day in order to get good loot. Like I want it to be, it just feels challenging to play. And if it is, like there are those like raids, if you will, if there are those things that aren't challenging because they frustrate you because you have to no one can fuck up, but they're challenging as in, you guys have to work together. Like if teamwork is the key for this game, kind of like how Rainbow is, then I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But if it's like just kind of like Destiny, just generic, just like shoot at these like mobs and stuff like that, and we're just going to give them shit tons of health and other stuff, I don't think that's going to be that much fun.
Okay, so based off what you played, you picking it up day one?
I can't say day one. I have to see more because they've done a great job showing like the action part of the game, like the combat and stuff, but there's still that whole other RPG layer that we have not seen. Like we don't know if there's skill trees. We haven't seen any skill trees. We haven't seen like how the loot works. We haven't seen like the different mission types you get. They're still kind of like foggy about like how the post content's going to be for the game, like how they're going to deliver like the DLC, if it's going to be free, if they're going to do what Destiny did. So like there's just so much shit that is still like up in the air that we're just like I don't know, but I am interested. And I think that's the main thing. If Bioware's goal was to get people at least like interested or curious about the game, I think they succeeded. But there's still just so much stuff that they need to still explain to I feel like to gamers before they're really like sold on the game.
Okay. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Hopefully, they said they're going to do a beta. So, hopefully they take a lot of the feedback to heart. I enjoyed it. I agree with you. I don't know if it's a day one pickup for me either. It depends on what comes out around that time.
That's well, it's February, right? So, like February 2019?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's actually surprising. Yeah, that's actually...
No, they didn't say February. They said Q1 2019.
No, I think they said February. They announced it during the thing. Let me check.
Okay, I mean, I'm bugging.
Well, they actually announced it. Yeah, February 22nd, 2019. And apparently has...
I was just looking at the gameplay. I forgot to... Like, one thing that I did really like about the gameplay, just to mention this, if you were a big Mass Effect fan, like the combos, it's in this game, too.
Oh, yeah.
It just popped up on the screen, not seeing it, yeah. So it's like, teamwork is big. Like, I don't know if you guys remember in Mass Effect, if you did a pool and then somebody did another move and make it explode. Like they have like little combo moves in the game like that, so like it does bonus damage. Yeah, so I was like that. I thought that was
dope. I'm curious if they're gonna have like support, like the medic. Like I'm curious if it's just gonna be all like damage stuff, or if there'll be stuff like you could have like a healer or a buffer or something like that.
It's a possibility because I mean there is a tank in the game.
Yeah, like maybe the tank has like I know the tank has like a riot shield, which was cool, like so it can like absorb damage. But I'm very curious, like if there's going to be more. I hope it's not like the Destiny effect where it's like there are 3 classes, but they're all very similar to each other. There's no really big differences between the 3 outside of just this small movement set, and none of them have like distinct roles. They're just like they're all like Warlock, Hunter, and Titan all do the same thing. They kill things, and it's like it'd be really nice if like. Anthem does something different with like some of the javelins where like whether it's Storm or whether it's like that 4th one, or if there's even more javelins, like there'll be one that's focused on like more support stuff like a Mercy or something like that.
Okay,
so we'll see.
I like the game. It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
What's the name? So
that was cool.
Yeah, we need to see more, but it was cool.
Yeah, but it's cool. Yeah.
All right, so that's our thoughts on Anthem. After we got some hands-on time with it, I think we played like a 30-minute demo, so it's kind of only so much we could talk about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like on the video, leave a comment in the comment section below. If you guys want to further support us on Patreon at patreon.com/GI updates. We have all different type of rewards in line for those who choose to financially support us. You can hop in the Discord game with us. We do game giveaways. could be in videos with us. We have podcasts, all that good stuff. It's patreon.com/GI updates. There will be a link in the description box below. Other than that, we got more E3 videos to record. So we're going to end this one and holla at y'all later. Peace.